Hey guys, Tiffany here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm in a new spot today. I'm trying out a new filming location, so let me know what you think. It's more comfortable for me to sit, and also I think the lighting is better, and the background is better. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this little segment here about what I do for work while I'm here in Greece. A couple of weeks ago, one of you asked me what did I do for a living here in Greece. And what I should preface all of this with is that the visa and the work residence permit I'm on do not allow me to accept a job here in Greece, meaning I can't come here and look for work. This is because they don't want people coming to Greece who don't already have jobs, looking for a job that might take a job away from a Greek person. This is in part due to the fact from the economic crisis they suffered in 2008. Unemployment is extremely high here, although it was getting better before the pandemic. So, with all of that being said, there are a couple of things that I'm going to ask you to do for me before I get into that. One is, I love these kinds of questions because then it gives me ideas for videos, especially since none of us are really traveling much right now. I'm trying to come up with stuff to keep you guys entertained and things that you'll find interesting. So anytime you have a question or a comment and I can turn it into a video, that's great. So leave your comments below. Second of all, I don't have 1,000 subscribers on here yet. So that means I can't give you community updates. People who hit 1,000 can have a community tab and they can communicate with you. So like last week I wanted to make you this video, but I got vertigo and I got really sick. I'm feeling better, but unless you follow me on Instagram, you didn't know that. So if you want to keep up with updates on like when the next video is coming or my daily life, I'm on Instagram several times a week. I don't want to say every day because sometimes there are days where you don't see me. But the link to that is down in the description box. So if you want to follow my stories on there, then you can. Third, help me get to that 1,000 subscribers. That was one of my big goals this year, and I'm making really good progress, slow progress, but steady progress, and all of you that are watching are leaving me comments. But if you're watching and you're not subscribed, it'd be great if you took this opportunity to subscribe now, and also hit the little button, that's the little bell, because if you don't hit the bell, then you don't always get notifications that I've posted something new. YouTube has this algorithm where like if you hit subscribe, it only tells you sometimes when I post a new video, but if you hit subscribe and then you hit the little bell and you say all notifications, then you'll know every time I post a new video. So, okay, now that we've got the housekeeping out of the way, we move on to today's topic. So I'm gonna post a couple of links in the description box and maybe in a card above. Sorry, I've been waiting for a package and they keep saying they're coming and then they send me a text saying they were here, but they never ring the bell. So either they're not ringing the bell or my buzzer is broken and I'm thinking it's actually the second one. Anyway, so back to what I was talking about. So what do I do for a living? I used to do a lot more things actually before the whole pandemic happened. I had a pretty steady freelance job where I had my own clients. And the clients were people that had been referred to me mostly by friends and other freelancers that know me and have worked with me. And let me tell you, that is the best way to get work. I have to keep stopping because this is such a new location to me. I'm not sure if you can see me, but you can. And yes, I moved the flowers, so no, you're not freaking out. I like continuity, but sometimes it doesn't work in a YouTube video. So back to freelance clients. That was really great for me because I didn't have to do a lot of hustling to get new clients, and I'm not very good at like networking and that sort of thing. It's just, I'm an introvert, surprisingly enough. Like I can talk to you guys all day on the camera, but if I have to talk to new people, like, and it's not in a social situation, and sometimes even in a social situation, I'm not so good. So it was really great. So what I was doing freelance was digital marketing, SEO. I was building WordPress websites and doing some social media management and content creation for various different kinds of industries. I also did some travel writing, and I think that's really it. I'm sure there's something I'm missing because like there were so many jobs at one point that I can't keep track. All of that has gone out the window though because of the pandemic. Because people are really cutting back anywhere they can. And of course, like if they already have a website up, then it's done. And if they already have social media going, then they're just sort of cutting back on that. And a lot of people aren't building new websites. And if you're in the travel industry, then, that's just tanked for everybody. So that was another way I was making a little bit of money, was through my travel blog, through affiliate links and some sponsored posts. And I wasn't making tons of money. It was kind of enough to cover the costs of the blog. So that's something that a lot of people don't realize, is that having a travel blog is not just building a website and putting it up there and putting up content. It does cost some money to host a website, especially if you see a word like mine, agirlandherpassport.com. It's not agirlandherpassport.wordpress.com. That means that it is probably hosted somewhere. And depending on who you're hosted with, it can cost $100 up to, a couple of $100 every year to host a website, not including any other services you might use to support that. And that all depends on what you're using. So, and I really thought this was the year that my blog was going to make me more than just covering my expenses. I was starting to see that upward trend in December and January was a good month. And then it got really bad and no one's traveling. And of course, I don't think that anyone should be traveling right now. And even though we're all dying to go somewhere, I don't encourage that. But that means a lot of my income that I was hoping to be making this year is now gone. So the third thing that I do that's my main source of income now is I work for an online media company. It's sort of like a blogging platform, but anybody can go on there and just write. And I read articles and help editors make decisions on whether or not those things are going to get basically promoted on this website. I'm not going to say who it is because it's a fairly prominent website and I don't really want people to come hunting me down because they know that I work there. And that's mainly what I'm doing. It's pretty part-time though, in the sense that like my hours are limited and it's not a lot of money. So at this point, some things I'm trying to do are look for freelance work. And also I've started a Patreon and I've started a Buy Me a Coffee and I've gotten a few people there. So that's just, that's not something I'm counting on, but if somebody has gotten something from my videos or my blog posts, then they want to give me $3 or $5 because they found it useful, great. If not, or if they can't afford it, it's okay. That's not why I put the information out there. It's because I enjoy sharing it with you guys. And hopefully in the next month or so, I will be able to at least travel within Greece. Today, it's Tuesday, the 28th. We're supposed to find out what the plan is to come out of lockdown for Greece. And I will include that in my next sort of weekly vlog that I give you hopefully later this week or maybe next week. I haven't decided. So that's kind of it. It's not super glamorous. I'm not, one of these travel bloggers that's flying all over the world on press trips and things like that. I prefer to travel where I want to go, and I've never been offered a press trip in a place that I'd want to go to. I've applied to a few that I've wanted to go on because I've wanted to go to the location, but it's either not worked out or my numbers aren't big enough because some brands don't really think about engagement rate. They only look at the number of followers you have, which is kind of unfortunate because a lot of smaller bloggers like me and bloggers have really engaged communities like you guys. You're always commenting and asking me questions. So anyway, that's just a travel industry thing. And you know what? I imagine that all of that is going to change after this pandemic is over, or at least has calmed down. I don't know if we'll ever see the end of it in the next year or two. We'll probably still be talking about this in April of 2021. So in the meantime, I'm going to keep looking for more freelance work, and I have been trying to find a full-time remote job, but because of everything, a lot of companies have cut back on their hiring. And so that may not be an option for another couple of months. That's okay. Like I'm doing okay with my part-time job, and I will keep looking. But really the premise of this video is to come on here and tell you that you can't come to Greece expecting to find a job. Unless you're a member, like unless you're from the EU. If you're from the EU and you want to come to Greece, you can. That's not an issue. But I'm talking about people who are Americans, or people from Australia or Canada or India or anywhere in the East. It's just not possible. Even this visa was really difficult to get, and I had to prove a lot, and I am still having to prove a lot. And it's not a cheap prospect. Like, they expect you to come and have money and not have to worry about how much the visa and the residence permit is going to cost. And yes, this visa and this residence permit cost more than if you were coming in to like go to school or get a job. So that being said, though, if you really want to live somewhere, you will figure out a way to live there. And I'm fortunate enough that I had been working remotely before I started this whole process. I would not have come here if I had not had remote jobs and freelance work lined up. I lost some clients last fall after I moved here. For whatever reason, they actually just disappeared off the face of the planet, which happens in freelance work. That's the other thing. Freelance work is not stable. So, and then of course, a lot of clients have left because they're trying to save money. So, but if I hadn't had all of that work before I came, I would not have applied for the visa and started this process, because I knew I wouldn't be able to work while I was here. And you do have to have an apartment for this residence permit, and so I'm having to pay rent. It's not one of those things where I could come and volunteer at like a hostel and stay there for free. So that's also something to keep in mind. So I know this is sort of cross the borders of like my residence permit and what I do for a living, but I think it's important because I think there are some people watching who want to know how they can come to Greece and work. So, and I'm definitely not the person to advise you. Like, I can't tell you, come here, these are the companies that are hiring, or come here and you can do this X kind of work, because I don't know. I've never looked into it. And part of it is because A, I know I can't, and B, I don't speak enough Greek to work in Greece. Most companies that are hiring here expect you to at least speak Greek, whether it's Greek and English or Greek and French or Greek and German. Like, I see jobs for those, like in some Facebook groups I belong to. But again, you have to be an EU citizen. So, because they're really not gonna, you have to pay a pretty large fee to hire somebody who's not from the EU in order to hire them. And most companies here aren't willing to do that. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna end it here, and I will see you in the next video, and I hope you guys are having a great week. Bye.